Somebody said to me once, a homeless person is a homeless person is a homeless person until you meet one.
Are we rolling, Bob? Well, the icicles drip from the rooftop. Horses whisper over the field. No steam shovel hides from the wind. Beside a rusted out automobile.
Laguna has a lot of great local musicians. Why don't we try to do a benefit CD for the homeless, but on a local level? And that was one night. I woke up the next morning and I made a phone call. And I made a phone call to the Friendship Shelter and I said, this is my idea. And so I went down there and met with Mark Miller and Carol, and we discussed this and figured out, well, yeah, let's give it a try.
Well, I mean, the benefit CD is, you know, it's one of the great things about working here. It's one of the great things about being a part of an organization that's been around for 20 years. The mission of Friendship Shelter is really very simple. It's to assist homeless adults regain self-sufficiency and become productive members of the community. So in developing a program that sort of meets that mission statement, there's two things that we really have to do. And one is provide service for people. So we make sure that everybody has a safe bed to sleep in, that they have plenty of nourishing food to eat, you know, that they have warm clothes to wear, that they have access to laundry, telephone, fax, all of those sorts of things.
You don't know anyone's story. It's kind of hard to look at someone and say, well, you know, this person needs to get it together, but you don't know their story. And a lot of homeless actually they've got mental health issues, they've got addiction issues, and these are people that need help. These are people that don't need to be judged or beaten down any further than they already are. They need to be lifted up. A hand needs to be extended. They need to be loved.
I like all the songs, basically because they come really from the heart. And Scott did a very good job of picking people that had something to say.
I've lived in Laguna now about 7 years, and I walk the streets a lot, you know, downtown. And Holland is a homeless guy that lives on the streets, and he plays a guitar in the alley, you know. I mean, I teach at the community college level English, and his songs just blew me away.
If it hadn't been for music, I'd have offed myself at the age of 5. Okay? Really. I'd have just offed it. Anyway, yeah, it's about the music for me, you know.
I started listening to his songs, and I realized very quickly that his songwriting ability is just tremendous. I was listening to the lyrics, I'd talk to him about the song and the meaning behind the lyrics, etc., and it got me sort of inspired about this whole sort of issue of homelessness.
And somebody asked me, what's your life like? You know, living on the road, the street. I said I wake up every morning, like Christmas morning, like I'm 5 years old, because I get to play music. I had one experience in this gazebo that was great. This little old man must have been in his 80s or maybe 90. He walked in, he scowled at me. He gave me the dirtiest look. And I just kind of sat there, you know, right here. And then he went over and he looked at the ocean. I don't know if he was really looking at it, but he was staring out there. And I started just playing a little instrumental. I think it was like this, you know. And I saw his foot start going like this. And I go, gotcha, gotcha. You didn't even know it, but I got you.
Most musicians are about a couple of gigs away from being street-bound themselves, you know, so I can totally relate. I've done this my whole life, and there's been a lot of times where I could sense that, and most of the people I've heard on the project have been really, really talented and just need a chance. So I feel very honored to do it, actually.
Being homeless affected me in a very abrupt way. It brought me down to earth in a way that I didn't think anything else could ever have done. It taught me the meaning of what being humble is, and taught me really how to be a servant, because once I had gotten past the initial shock of being homeless, I found myself really willing to just help other people that were out there and that really might need the services of a shelter, you know, that they're sleeping on sidewalks, under bridges, and, you know, they might need these services and help get them back on their feet. And so being homeless has really changed the culture of my thinking completely.
All right, cue sound.
Your hair's too short and your thighs are too big. You're not tall enough, or will you ever have kids and get married? These are the things that you think. Well, you're depressed and you need a change. You buy a magazine to tell you who you should be. You're lonely, even in the crowded scene. Well, beautiful, you love, bless your soul. You still be beautiful even when you grow old. Sit down with me, let's have a cup of green tea. Beautifully, you and I'm a beautifully
Most important for me, though, is the proceeds are going to go to a great cause, and that's what matters most to me about the whole situation.
You know, part of this program is not just to provide service to homeless people, but to provide awareness in the community and education that the issue exists, and who are the people that are actually affected by homelessness. You know, a lot of people have that, you know, stereotypical image of what a homeless person is, and the image that most people live with is, you know, it's just not really accurate if you actually talk and meet to people. So aside from raising, you know, much needed funds for our program, I really hope what that benefit CD will do is really raise some consciousness in the community.
If people take the time to listen to this benefit CD, read the lyrics of the songwriters about the issue of homelessness, if they just listen to, say, Jason Fetty perform Ain't It a Wonderful Life, written by Holland, and they listen to that line, I've been living out of my car for so long, I forgot what love could be like. If they just take the time to hear that one song and to hear that lyric, all of us who were involved in this project did our jobs. And that's the worst case scenario. And that's great.
First 4 bars are for John Cash. Somebody's knocking, wolf at the door. I'd love to help you, but I'm down on the floor, yeah. Oh no. Outside my window there's a 40 below. Can't play my guitar 'cause my fingers are froze, yeah. Oh no. So don't treat me unkind, for we've not got much time. Say I'm out of my mind, searching for a line to rhyme, rebel without a dime.